If you always visit my channel, you know I post every single day, and every recipe is a learning experience for you guys. So in this recipe, I've been getting a lot of requests about stovetop pizza. So we are going to be making a very simple and delicious pizza recipe, which is going to turn out mouth-watering. It's going to be the best ever, and also it's going to be a crowd pleaser. You'll need some all-purpose flour. We have sugar, salt, lukewarm water, yeast, and cooking oil. So into your bowl, you're going to add in a cup of all-purpose flour. Add in half a teaspoon of sugar, half a teaspoon of salt, 3/4 teaspoon of instant yeast. Mix up the dry ingredients. Gradually add in some lukewarm water. The salt and sugar is for seasoning the dough, and when it comes to instant yeast, there's no need for blooming because it's instant. But if you're going to be adding in dry yeast, you're going to add in sugar, lukewarm water, and your yeast, and wait for around 5 minutes so that the yeast can bloom. When ashagi dough is formed just like this, I'm going to go in with my hands and knead the dough for around 3 to 4 minutes. Next, you're going to add in a tablespoon of cooking oil. Knead the oil into the dough as you lift the dough and tuck until all the cooking oil is fully absorbed into the dough. And this is going to give us a very nice chewy texture in the dough once you bite into. You can also add in some olive oil, that is a teaspoon. This is a budget-friendly recipe because I want you to try out making some stovetop pizza. In a matter of around 4 to 5 minutes, your dough is going to be soft and elastic, and the glutens are going to be activated. So now it's time to rest the dough, whereby it's going to double up in size and the glutens are going to relax. As you can see, my dough is not sticky at all. So now I'm going to transfer into my bowl and add in around half a teaspoon of cooking oil. Spread the oil in the bowl, making sure the dough is fully covered with the oil. And this is going to prevent the dough from drying out while resting. And as you have seen, this is a small recipe. So you can double, triple the ingredients to make some more pizza for your family, or if you have some guests over. So now I'm going to wrap up my bowl using a plastic wrap. And because it is cold, I'm going to place a kitchen towel on top so that the bowl can remain warm while resting. After the first step, which is making your dough and it has doubled up in size, you're going to gather your toppings of choice. For me, I'm going to be using some minced meat, and I have the rest of the toppings on the side to create some space for cooking the minced meat. So I'm going to place a small pan over medium flame and add in a tablespoon of cooking oil. When my cooking oil is ready, I'm going to transfer my minced meat into the pan. Then I'm going to use my spatula and break down the meat as it's cooking. Minced meat cooks very fast, so within a minute or 3, it's going to cook from a pink color and get some brown color, and also it's going to release a little bit of water. So you're going to cook down all the water until it's fully evaporated, and you're going to let the meat sear for around a minute over medium flame. And this is going to create a very nice flavor into your topping, that is your minced meat topping. The best part about pizza is that you can use any meat, cook a vegetable pizza, and still it's going to be delish. So now that my meat is ready, I'm going to be adding in some seasoning, and I have a beef seasoning cube, which is going to enhance the color of the pizza. And also I'm going to be adding in a touch of salt because the seasoning cube contains a little touch of salt. That is a tiny bit of salt. Then I'm going to be adding in half a teaspoon of paprika and half a teaspoon of garlic powder. Stir in the seasoning into the minced meat. And at this point, I'm going to add in a medium finely diced onion and stir in. Cook for around a minute. Cook for around a minute until soft. Don't overcook your minced meat because it's going to get super dry and it won't be looking so good when the pizza is ready. Also, as you can see, my minced meat is quite a lot. So this is enough for around 2 pizzas if you're going to be doubling or tripling the ingredients. The kitchen at this point smells so good from the meat searing, and because it's ready, I'm going to put out the flames and let the meat filling cool down as I make my barbecue sauce. So you're going to need some white vinegar. We have garlic powder, salt, oregano, and ketchup. The best part about this pizza sauce recipe is that there's no cooking, it's budget friendly, and it's going to turn out delicious. So the key ingredient is ketchup. Don't substitute with tomato sauce because the ketchup is going to add in a very nice sweet vinegary taste into the pizza sauce, which is going to make it very delicious. We are going to be adding in some garlic and oregano as well, which is going to add in flavor. Into a small bowl, you're going to be adding in half a cup of ketchup. Then you're going to add in some more vinegar, that is around half a teaspoon to a teaspoon, which is going to add in that vinegary taste into the sauce. And also, you're going to be adding in half a teaspoon of oregano, which is going to add in that signature taste when it comes to pizza sauce. And also, we have some garlic powder, which is going to add in a very nice garlic flavor into the sauce. A touch of salt because the ketchup is already salty. And once everything is ready, you're going to keep aside. And now we're going to move on to our dough, which has doubled up in size. So I'm going to remove the plastic wrap. Then I'm going to punch to remove the excess air pockets in the dough. Dust my surface with some all-purpose flour. Then I'm going to transfer my dough. And after around 30 seconds of kneading my dough, I'm going to tuck in the bottom to form a smooth surface, just like this. Dust my work surface with some more flour. Then I'm going to be rolling out. Whenever you're cooking pizza, you need a heavy bottomed pan, like a cast iron pan, which evenly distributes heat. But if you don't have a cast iron pan, you can use a heavy bottomed non-stick pan to cook your pizza. So I'm going to switch my pans. Then I'm going to be placing my cast iron pan over low flame, and while the pan is heating up, I'm going to be rolling out my dough. So you can use your hands or you can use a rolling pin to push the dough. It's also quite easy to push the dough using your hands. All you need is some extra all-purpose flour. Then you're going to pick your dough, and because it's very elastic, it's going to stretch as you roll out. But I'm going to be showing you the simplest way, which is going to be using your countertop to roll out the dough. The touch of salt and sugar is going to season the dough, so every bite is going to be delish. You're going to gently push your dough, making sure it's evenly sized, just like this. Then, by now your pan is going to be hot. Then carefully, I'm going to lift up my dough and transfer to my hot pan. Fit the dough just like this. Then I'm going to use my index finger and make indents in the dough, or push the dough to the sides of the pan just like this. And very quickly, I'm going to poke using a fork so that the dough can cook on the inside. And very quickly, I'm going to shred my cheese. Once you place your dough on the preheated pan, it's going to start cooking immediately. So as you shred your cheese, or as you pick your toppings, which are already prepped up ahead, the dough is going to be cooking, and you're going to notice a little bit of air pockets in the dough as it's cooking. So I'm done shredding up my cheese, and be very careful because your grater is sharp. I'm going to tap my grater to get all the cheese out. Check on my dough, and this is how it's looking. As you can see, it's puffing up on the sides, and it's slowly cooking because I'm using low flame so that the dough can cook on the inside. So this is after around 3 minutes. I'm going to slide a spatula on the bottom and check if my dough is perfectly cooking. Because I'm making a stovetop pizza, it's very important for me to cook the dough on both sides. When you place your dough in an oven, it does the work for you, but for me, I need to make sure the pizza is well cooked. So I'm going to flip and cook for around 1 to 2 minutes just to make sure all sides are perfect, ready to add in my toppings. And as you can see, we have a very gorgeous crust. And after 2 minutes, I'm going to flip my dough. Then I'm going to add in my pizza sauce, which is looking absolutely incredible. Spread the sauce. This is how your pizza is going to be looking. Then you're going to be adding in some cheese. And remember, the crust is still cooking, so make sure your flames are at low. Then I'm going to add in my minced meat. Then you're going to add in some onions, which are going to add in color and make the pizza look very delicious with each bite, because the onions are going to be crunchy when the pizza is ready. Add in tomatoes, which are going to add in color. You can substitute with red capsicum, green capsicum, and as you can see, as you're adding in your toppings, the cheese is melting. So I'm going to add in some more cheese on top. Pick my pan and toss a little bit to make sure nothing is stuck on the pan. Then I'm going to add in a splash of water. This is half a teaspoon, which I'm going to add to create steam into the pan. Then I'm going to cover, trap in the steam so that the cheese can melt. And it's going to take you around 30 seconds to a minute at most. And after 2 minutes, your cheese is going to be melted just like this. The pizza is looking so gorgeous. The crust is tender, not overcooked, and everything is looking so good. So I'm going to use a pizza cutter and cut into my pizza. And as you can see, the veggies are looking crunchy, very delicious. Finally, it's time to taste my pizza, and I'm super excited because I've been waiting for around 10 to 15 minutes at most. This is the best stovetop pizza ever because I can tell just by looking at how the vegetables are cooked. The minced meat is delicious. The crust is perfect. And wow, after the first bite, I'm ready to dig in. So hope you'll be giving this recipe a try and it's going to turn out perfect.